Hello everybody, my name is Stratnos and welcome to my weekly vault video here on Dinar Week slash Turbo Boost Week. So, uncapped crests, uncapped Valor Stones, Dinars available. This character is going to benefit from that pretty tremendously in that I'm going to buy a Mythic Jaster Diamond and then, pretty close to done on this thing. Would like to get a Mythic Bomb Suit as well, but because I've already got an Eye of Kazan, I should be okay to... there's another Eye of Kazan, to just buy one. So, okay, well, we can't dual wield Eyes of Kazan. I don't need another Mythic Gloves, so I guess we're going with the Socket here. Now, you can actually use these tokens of merit for Sparks as well. If you're on a character that really wants another craft. At this point, we have a lot of Sparks this season, but it wouldn't be unreasonable in some cases to grab one of those. But yeah, we'll get the Socket adding device, and then I've got two good mythic pieces to throw a Socket into. I'm going to go with the Bracers. I like both the Bracers and the Helmet. I probably won't replace either one unless I get a Tertiary, but the Bracers stats are a little bit better, so if I get like a really good M+ row Helmet, then maybe I'll replace that. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm probably not going to replace either, but yeah, we'll do that. All right, here's my DK, looking for a Best in Slots and also a Jaster Diamond. I'll be purchasing a Best in Slots with Dinars, probably as my first one on this character. Let's see what we got here. We've got, Hero Track Eye of Kazan. Darn it, I didn't actually fill a full vault of Mythic Raid on this character. Now, there is a socketed coin-operated girdle. It's a good belt, but we know that the Titan belt thing is coming soon in like 6 weeks or something now, whenever 11.1.7 comes out, maybe 5 weeks, something like that. So I'm not too interested in a marginal belt upgrade, and this isn't even that much of an upgrade. I mean, it is a more haste budgeted belt than my current one, but Mastery as a secondary stat instead of crit, it's not necessarily an upgrade. Don't need a spare keys, so a Socket it is, unfortunately, here on the DK. Not a big deal. This character can dinar a Best in Slots right now, so that'll be pretty good. And I can Socket these test subject clasps, so I've gotten pretty lucky to still be... Like, all my vaults up to this point on my DK have been such that I can still get a useful Socket at this point. That's pretty lucky, TBH, because it would have been very easy to be done with Sockets now and also still have, bad vaults. All right, here is my DH. Not a lot that I need on this character either, but surely something I haven't thought of. I guess I only had an M+ slot. Ooh, a Leech Trinket from M+. If only this had been a book, a Tome of Lights thingy, then that would have been really good. This trinket is probably not something that we're really thrilled about here, even though it is Myth Track. I don't think this thing is particularly good. I don't really need that many Sockets on this character either, but I do still need at least one, so... Yep, we're going with a third Socket. That's right. This week's Great Vault video. High octane, high excitement. Watch me click on the Socket button, and then Socket an item, and then cut to the next character, because I don't want to show you all the time of me opening up the auction house and buying the gem. All right, here's my Monk. This character doesn't need either cool M+ trinket, but it also doesn't need a modular platinum plating. So we're going to go with the Socket. Yeah, this character did some heroic raid just for like crests and stuff. A lot of my characters, now that this turbo boost is here, needed a bunch of crests. So I mean, heroic raid is a really good, if you do the heroic skip, you just do first boss, and then last two is actually the more efficient, but last three is what we ended up doing because people still want like heroic house of cards and stuff. You do that skip, you can get so many crests. Like heroic Mugsy and heroic Gallywix drop 15 runed and 15 gilded. Those 15 runed convert up to roughly 5 gilded each. Obviously you have to do the conversion as 45 to 45, but still it's really good. So I definitely recommend that. Okay, what do I want here? Do I want some movement speed or do I want better stats? I guess I'm going to go with just better stats. Yeah. Okay, Deadly Sapphire. All right, here's my warrior. Mythic Pants would be the best way to save myself from a 5th Socket. Mythic Boots would also be quite good. A very cool trinket. would always be cool as well. Ooh, a miniature roulette wheel. Now that could be really good or really bad. The cloak here is not going to be better than the catalyzed cloak I have. The spare keys aren't going to be good, but the miniature roulette wheel with heavy haste, a little bit of crit, and some leech is going to be really good. Okay, heavy haste, a little bit of crit. The leech was too much to ask for, but heavy haste and a little bit of crit. We are very thrilled about this. This is actually probably the best thing you can get here, because all the other good stuff this season you can dinar. You can't dinar one of these. So it's better, like taking one of these and 4 sockets is probably better than taking, 4 pretty good items, because everything else can be bought with dinars. So that is a really good, really good outcome there. This vault week is already a dub, even though we're only 1 for 5 on taking items instead of sockets. All right, here's my Druid, another character that just already has myth track, double bis M+ items. Looking for cloak, necklace. Reverb Radio is a good trinket, but I already have 2 really good trinkets. This is something I guess I could use on non-tank stuff. There is a myth track offhand as well. I opened in Moonkin loot spec. So I guess the question is just Reverb Radio or Socket. I guess the answer here is going to be Socket. Like, Socket's better for my tanking aspirations. Even though Reverb Radio is pretty good for Moonkin, it's not like that good. It's I don't think it's a Abyss trinket or anything like that. So yeah, just grab the Socket adding device. And we are now 5 for 6 on sockets on my 6 tanks. But again, fortunate to get to this point even still needing sockets. Fortunate to, like, the sockets are good. They're useful. This character needs some movement speed is what it needs. So I'm going to... I'll show you guys this gem purchase, because I don't think a lot of people are purchasing the gem that I'm about to purchase here, which is a quick amber. Even though it's a pretty bad gem, I really value movement speed on Guardian Druid. I think that spec is turbo good for the bear. So look at I'm basically perma sprinting. I'm 132% movement speed. Largely, like, the extra 2% from this is nice. Again, the synergy with the elusive blast might, and I already have the other 4 colors of gem. So there you go. A little high excitement socket adding moment for the vault video. Why do you guys watch this? Why do you guys watch this content? All right, here's my mage. We're gonna get not a socket, because we've got a semi-charmed amulet here. Wow, that worked out really nicely. There's also a Remnant of Darkness, which is not a particularly poggers trinket, but this is a very nice item. Wow, good thing I killed Rick Reverb on this character in Mythic. I've been doing a lot of 2 out of 8 runs, and recently some of them we've been going for Rick, and it takes like 30 minutes usually to do it, right? You know, it's Rick Reverb, it's kind of hard. It's very hard for a 3rd boss to kill in a pug, but some of the groups I've been in have gone for it and actually done the like 30 minutes of prog or whatever. We'll stop trying in some of these groups if it's not looking possible, but even I've been kind of feeling bad about it because it doesn't give you an extra vault slot or anything like that, but there are some good items like this one that you can get out of doing that, so it all pays off. All right, here's my Shaman. There's somebody saying, hi, YouTube. Wrong hi, idiot. Okay, we've got a mythic tier chest piece. And yeah, nothing. Could take the hero legs. Upgrading. Oh, I already have hero legs. Yeah, okay, we're not going to take that. We're going to take the socket. Again, okay, wow, this is a very sockety video. This is not good for the engagement, I'm sure. Okay, slime a socket in one of these. And we're out of here. All right, here's my rogue. A cool trinket would be really good. A mythic signet of the priory, so I don't have to dinar one. Okay, there's a mythic helmet, which I already have a mythic helmet. Not the same one. This is the tier one, but helmet's currently my off piece. I have a pretty good helmet right now, so I'm going to keep that, I think. Which means, that's right, it's our 8th socket? 9th? Ooh, I don't know. It's socket week for sure. Yeah, I don't know. If you don't see a video next week, it's because I don't want to put out 2 weeks of videos in a row that are just me taking sockets or nothing on everybody. I guess this week I'm probably gonna do maybe a little bit more content. So I want to complete the dinar quest on a lot of characters, But some of my characters are kind of far from being able to dinar something good. Like, I need to do... But the thing is, the dinar quest is to do 4M plus dungeons anyway, so I was kind of thinking... I was looking at it last week, and I was like, okay, next week, you know, I can do 4 12s, and they can be 4 of my 12s towards actually... Like, if you look at my characters here, you know, my mage, for instance, only needs 4 12s, so if I just pick the right 4, then I can complete the quest and earn the ability to purchase whatever M plus thing I want anyways. But then a bunch of my characters I was looking at, I was like, I don't really want to buy an M plus item on these things anyways, but then I'm also not going to unlock the ability to get the good raid items on some of these characters. So, like, my tanks are set, but my other characters, I don't know. Maybe they'll be doing this kind of slower and worse. Okay, so we're choosing between a socket and a verse mastery ring here on the priest. Now, most clothies do not like verse, is sort of a general rule of thumb. I think Shadow Priest is kind of okay with it compared to some of the other specs, but even them, they would very much prefer all of their stats, I think, to be like mastery, haste, a little bit of crit. That would be ideal. So the question is whether the item level sways us. It is, you know, a good way to expend Gilded Crests, but I already have some good ways to expend Gilded Crests, right? I have all of my Turbo Boost Myth Track items, and I have at least 2 crafted pieces that I'm going to want to put the augmentation matrix into. So I think I'm just going to go with the socket here. I don't think I'm in the market for that poorly allocated stats on a ring. If it was like decent, but man, it was verse heavy and a little bit of mastery, yeah, I think we can't justify taking that. So, I have 2 socket adding devices now, and only one thing that still needs a socket, which is Hero Track. Well, the second one lets me put a socket into this thing now, and then I'll eventually upgrade it. Maybe I'll actually just craft into this slot right now, actually, and put a socket into it. That might be the smoothest way to handle this. Yeah, I'm not sure. But if I'd known I had another socket thing in my inventory, I might have still taken the Tokens of Merit and just taken like 3,000 gold instead. Although that feels pretty off. That feels like scraping the bottom of the barrel in terms of, you know, stuff to do. All right, here's my Evoker. A cool trinket, a cool necklace, a helmet on the Myth Track. Those sorts of things would be what we'd want. Instead, we are going to get a main hand mace here. The Get Oot mace. Doesn't look particularly good. Complete with shock and bludgeoning capabilities. I mean, it's a cool item. This is probably a floodgate item, huh? But yeah, we're not going to go for that. Could get some Mog. Take the LFR helmet. But there's the catalyst that will get me that as long as I remember by the end of the season. So we're going to take a socket. That's right. Surprise, surprise. It's time for another socket. At least this one has a, not actually technically a Myth Track, but a pretty permanent home that it can go into pretty happily here with the crafted bracers. All right, here's my Warlock. Any good Myth Track item, favorably helmet, chest piece. Yeah, those would be the big ones. Pants, unfortunately, not very good. This is a shame as well, because these are good pants. I just already have very good pants. I have the Vexy pants. These are maybe even slightly better stats, but I don't think they are enough better to justify selecting over another socket. Plus, this really adds to my all sockets selling point of this video. It's all coming together. You know, the thumbnail. Wow, I also am in socket prison on this character. But unfortunately, yeah, I don't have Myth Track stuff. I'm probably, I guess, crafting bracers on this guy kind of soon to have something decent to throw a socket into. Yeah, it's all coming together. You guys are going to see one of the most compelling thumbnails and titles ever put on a YouTube video this time around. With, you know, the sockets. There are going to be like 10 socket icons. They're all going to be like shining. It's going to be a mystery. Oh, what did I take this week? Ooh. All right, last character. It's the Hunter. I think we are 11 for 12 on sockets so far, but it's all about to change. In one fell swoop here, we are going to take Mythic Leech chest piece, and it's all going to be better. Everybody's going to be happy. There's going to be cheering. There's going to be okay, there's Leech. There's Mythic Leech, Remnant of Darkness. Is this thing any good? Okay, I checked. it's not good, unfortunately. It's nearby enemies as well, so I'd have to be in melee. I have some pretty good trinkets already. Yeah, unfortunately, that one is going back in the bin, and we are taking our 12th of 13 sockets. Oh, wow, I'm pretty sure I've taken sockets on everybody except for my warrior. Okay, also, I don't even have a good thing to put a socket into on this character. Wow, this video has taken a turn. But, you know what? Some weeks you have good vaults, some weeks you have bad vaults. I still got a really, really good item with the haste-heavy miniature roulette wheel. Plus, now that the exciting bad luck protection of the dinar system is here, all of my characters, except for most of them, are going to be able to purchase some really good stuff. And then my other characters, and many WoW players, are going to get to sadly watch on from the sidelines as the rich get even richer. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.